students. I hope everybody is fine on your side. You're all enjoying good health. Now, this is the third video tutorial from this chapter, Force and Laws of Motion. So, again, I let you know that please go through the other two video tutorials before you coming for this tutorial. Okay. So, as you can see on the screen that today we are going to study about laws of conservation of momentum. Okay. And I already have told you in the last two tutorials that what is momentum. So, this thing we are going to use in this particular tutorial, and of course, something else referred as impulse. Okay. So, what is impulsive force? These are also will be let you know in this particular tutorial. Now, first of all, let us see what the law of conservation of momentum states. Okay. So, write it down and make sure that please sit with your respective textbook and notes copies, so that the things has been told in tutorial you can copy them in properly. Okay. So, according to law of conservation of momentum, it states that, and this lining should be very precise, okay, because these are the laws, you can't change them according to your statement. So, when two bodies collide with each other, okay, the sum of their linear momentum is always remain same. So, we can say that it is conserved and it is not affected by any action or reaction, only in case that there should be no external unbalanced force is applied on the bodies. Okay. So, that is the most important part, that no external unbalanced force should be applied on the body. So, again check it out. So, it states there when two bodies collide with each other, sum of their linear momentum always remains same. So, we will study about this in detail, and so make sure the statement should be very clear in your mind. Okay. And you can see that as the momenta principle speak of, that the principle in isolated system and collision analysis. Okay. So, we are using these two things, that there should be no external force acting on it, that should be known to you, and it is one of the good laws in physics. And as I have stated you, what it means, that when the collision takes place between the object 1 and 2, say for example, in an isolated system, means no external unbalanced force should be there. The total momentum of the two objects before collision is equal to the total momentum of the two objects after collision. That is, total momentum before collision is equals to total momentum after collision. And make sure that the momentum lost by object 1 is equal to the momentum gained by the object 2. So, as I have told you that momentum is mass time velocity, we will do further in detail. So, they say that total momentum before collision is equals to total momentum after collision, and the momentum gained and lost is being the two objects which are in the isolated system. Now, before that, this law, there is some statement that you should be looking into, that we can also say that the change in momentum, there is a relation, and normally we do ask you the relation between the change in momentum, okay, and the Newton second law. So, how you can relate the relation between these two things? So, just view the whole tutorial again and see that how we relate these two relations. Okay. So, you know that according to Newton's second law, force is equals to the product of mass and acceleration. And we also know that according to the first law statement, that acceleration equals to change in velocity. That term is known to you. So, now you just manipulate and put the formulae there to get the required result. So, I can write it this relation as equals to m v minus u over t. Just put the value of a there, and if I solve this bracket, what value we get it? The mass time velocity minus mass time second velocity. So, if it is a bit more different way, so I can write it T like that, and in mu over the whole time T. So, if we collect all this, so you know what is mv minus mu over T. So, you know that in case of mv it is final momentum, because I have told you momentum into the mass into velocity is momentum, and mu is initial momentum. So, if I again write these terms in the most understanding form, so I can write it as the force equals to final momentum minus initial momentum, okay, over time. And what we have this whole relation referred as. So, this can be written as nothing but rate of change of momentum. Okay. So, rate of change of momentum. So, momentum symbol is P, you know, it is a vector quantity. So, put the arrow on the top. So, you can see there is a relation between the Newton's second law and the rate of change of momentum. So, we can also define the Newton's second law as what? The same formulation that we have done. So, the rate of change of momentum of a body, you can say the rate of change of momentum of the body is equal to unbalanced force acting on the body, okay? Unbalanced force acting on it by the relation, and make sure it takes place in the direction of the force applied, okay? And the resultant force will be in the direction of the force applied basically. So, you can define the Newton law on both the sides, second law in particular with force equals to mass time acceleration, or it can be defined as rate of change of momentum, okay? So, please make sure that you should know these data and please practice it, because these are the part of the questionnaire. So, when you will have these various evaluation of your various assessment and examination, okay. The second term that we are going to read today is close to a referred word that I have told you in the starting tutorial called impulse, okay. So, impulsive force or impulse. So, impulse of a force acting body, so impulsive force acting on a body is equals to the product of force and time, okay. So, write it down. So, impulse, which can be denoted by letter I, so is equals to the product of force and time, okay. So, these two terms you should know it. So, you know unit of force is Newton and time is seconds. So, unit will be the SI unit will be Newton second. So, in this you should know what is impulse. So, again I am letting you know the impulsive force is defined as the force acting on a body is equal to the product of force and time. So, I equals to F into T. So, I stand for impulse, okay. So, these two terms momentum and impulse should be very clear in your mind. Then only this topic which you are going to read today will be understood in detail. Now, as I have told you that in case of the law of conservation of momentum, the two bodies act upon one another and the total momentum in the system remain constant, provided I have told you no external force should be acting in the system, okay. So, as we know that momentum before collision, make sure the momentum before the second or interaction of the body equals to momentum after interaction. That means, momentum before collision equals to the momentum after collision, and as a result we have this definition that momentum is neither created nor destroyed. So, write it down just like energy, because as momentum is neither created not destroyed, and it is conserved. So, it remains as it is in the system called constant. Now, for that we have one good example that we already have done with respect to the Newton's third law of motion approximately. So, we know before launch the total momentum of the rocket and its fuel is 0. So, during launch what happens? The downward momentum of the expanding exhaust gases is just equal to the magnitude of upward momentum of the rising rocket. So, if the rocket is launched, the gas is burned, it puts thrust downward, and with that momenta, the opposite momenta approximately lift the whole rocket upward, and so the total momentum of the system remains constant. So, make sure that these rules are quite applicable in approximately every part of our living and the life stuff. Now, here is the one that you should be knowing about it, that how we derive this momentum. Okay. So, go through this tutorial very precisely and know about it, that what are the things that you should be knowing it. Now, they say that we consider two bodies, say body 1 here, body 2 here. Okay. And in this say body 1 is A, body 2 is B, and we have seen that body 1 is moving in this direction, body 2 is moving in other direction. So, body 1 have velocity u1, mass m1, and its velocity is u2 and mass m2, that is before collision you can call them. Now, after collision what happens? Now, the body A or 1 will have the velocity v1, mass of course is the same, and velocity for body 2 is v2 and mass is m2. So, this particular illustration should be in your mind, because this is the body of the numerical, okay, or the derivation, that two bodies are there, they are moving towards each other, as you can see, with different mass, the m1, m2, initial velocity is u1, u2 you can call them. After collision, the velocity goes to v1 and v2 are two bodies. Now, we frame the whole statement now, take one by one. So, for the object 1, the force is given by, because you know force equals to ma. So, mass is m1, acceleration is a1 in this case. So, now you put the value of mass into acceleration, you get the data, mass is the m and acceleration is what? Nothing but v minus u over t. So, that is the final velocity minus initial velocity over time. So, you put the value from the Photoshop. So, you get m1 equals to v1 final velocity minus initial velocity over time. Okay. This is for body 1. Now, what about the body 2? The same thing happened with body 2, because mass and acceleration will m2 and a2. Force is mass times acceleration, we have just told you force is mass times acceleration. As a result, again initial velocity and final velocity is given to us. So, the data becomes final velocity is v2, initial is u2, that is for m2. So, these two statement is according to the figure diagram that we have drawn it. Now, according to Newton's third law of motion, what it states? Newton's third law says that to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So, make sure that when there is a action, there is a reaction. So, as a result, force exerted on object A equals to force exerted on object B, but with opposite directions. So, put the sign negative here. Now, just put the values of force exerted by A, then force exerted by B, and putting the data here is just a calculation, algebraic calculation, and when you calculate this data, you will see cancel out the common t here. So, you get this term, and then we just put the whole bracket solve here. Make sure take care of the negative sign, okay, because normally the students forget about this thing, because it is opposite direction, that is why negative sign is placed. And when you again solve the relation easy form, so you will reach a conclusion called this one. What is that? m1 v1 plus m2 v2 equals to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. That is the momentum after collision, momentum before collision. So, when you relate both the terms, what you get? the final momentum of two objects equals to original momentum of the objects. Hence, the momentum in the system remains conserved. Okay? Hence, the momentum is conserved. So, please derive this relation 2, 3, 4 times, because this should be known to you, because we are going to use this formulation in this tutorial to solve lot many numericals. So, you are very sure that what you are going to obtain in the relation. So, this is the fundamental stuff for the law of conservation of momentum. Now, let us see its application in the coming questionnaire format. So, we have some questions selected for you and see if you can do it, and it is not that difficult, but yeah, the concept should be clear in your mind. The question once reads, check it out, they say find the recoil velocity of a gun. Now, recoiling velocity means when you fire a gun, the bullet goes ahead and there is a backward thrust and the force of the gun that hits the shoulder or where it has been holded out. Now, that is called recoil velocity of the gun. Okay? And they have given you some data for that, and the data is velocity of gun having mass equals to 5 kilogram and the bullet mass is 25 grams, and the velocity it acquires after firing is 500 meter per second. So, they are asking you find the recoil velocity of the gun, that what is the force the gun will be pushed back more or less. Now, here you make sure that unit should be very clear about it. Now, you can see one unit is kilogram, other is in gram. So, make sure it should be turned into kilograms. Okay? Rest of the data is depending upon the derivation we have just done. So, they say the mass of bullet is this much, converted into grams, mass of the bullet before, or velocity of the bullet before firing, because it was at rest, so it is 0. Then velocity of bullet after firing, they are given you 500 meter per second, they are given in the data in the question. Then comes for the gun, the mass of the gun is 5 kilograms, already in kilogram, no need to convert here. Then velocity of gun before firing, again 0 because it was at rest. And now they ask you this, that what is the velocity of gun after firing, that is called recoiling. Now, if you know the law of conservation of momenta, put the formulation directly here and put these values in the respective zone, and you will collect the answer depending upon the whole data mentioned here. So, this is the mass, the velocity. So, this is the relation 1 here, and this value for the relation 2 this side goes. So, you know, as initial velocity is 0 in both the cases, then the whole this term becomes 0 more or less. So, you have to put the value here in this, and when you equate the value by putting the data into that, you can do it a simple algebraic mathematics. You will get the answer as V2 comes out to be this term. Okay? That is minus 12.5 kilogram meter per second over 5 kg, the data. And here make sure the sign convention must be used. This negative sign is meant for the direction. So, that direction is opposite to the movement of the bullet. Okay? So, that is the direction of the bullet fired, and that is the recoil velocity at the back one. Okay? That is why the term minus is there, make sure minus 2.5. Okay? So, this is the relation you can see if you know the data or know the formulation, that is the momentum is conserved, then this question becomes simple. Now, similarly, we can have one more question here that you can further count it down, and again you can do it on your own, because here the same thing is there more or less with simple changeover. Here the bullet is given 5 grams, make sure, and the pistol is 1.5 kilograms. So, again make sure that here they ask you that if the recoiling velocity of pistol is this much. So, in the last question we have obtained this answer, that what is the recoil velocity of the gun. Now, here they have given you recoil velocity of the gun or the pistol. Now, they ask you the velocity of the bullet. So, you can see these examples are quite interesting for the solved problems to be solved, because these things are quite used in the various format of our respective numerical problem. Okay? So, here you can see the whole data is there. Make sure that 5 grams should be converted into kilograms. Rest you have the whole data, the mass of the bullet is here, and then conversion is of course there, mass of the pistol is given to you, recoil velocity is also given to us, and velocity of bullet, that is V1 they ask us. So, again they say since before firing bullet and pistol are rest, so thus initial velocity is 0 and the initial recoil velocity of pistol ut is also 0 because before firing both are at rest. And as we know the formulation, you put this data, you can again see the how we use the numericals or how we use the relations for solving the numericals. Okay. And this again momentum before collision, after collision is constant or equal. So, they have used that, they are putting, since in first case both are 0, this term becomes more or less 0. So, basically you have to solve the right hand side issue only, that is this one, and then use the data, fix it, just mathematical calculation is there, and ultimately you get a relation like this, that V1 happens to be, again this negative sign is meant for opposite direction. Make sure I again repeat every time the negative sign may take care of it. So, when you further solve the same stuff, you get the whole data again as we have seen it, that V1 was like this data and the last one. Now, if you solve this data, that point minus 2.25 kilogram per second over 0.005 kilograms. So, you will get the relation approximately as value is minus 450 meter per second. You can see the recoiling or the speed of the velocity of the bullet in particular here. So, it will fire or move above with the speed of 450 meters per second. Negative sign is the means the opposite direction. Okay. So, the velocity of bullet is 450 as we have calculated in the data, and since the negative sign is the velocity of the pistol, shows that it moves in the opposite direction of the piston. So, you can see in both these numericals we have used the law of conservation of momentum. So, please make sure these laws are very firm in your mind, and similarly we will use the same relations for other numericals also. Now, here you can find the things are quite interesting because normally this is the question from your textbook also. Okay. So, see what the question says, that is very one question. They say that a boy of 50 kilogram mass is running with a velocity of this much, okay, and he jumps over a stationary cart. Now, make sure the cart here is stationary. So, make sure the things are clear to you. Of 2 kilogram, the weight of the cart is like that, and then they ask you find the velocity of the cart after the boy jump in it. Now, make sure that in second case the cart and the boy is a one unit. Okay. So, they ask you that what is the final velocity when that scene or that conditions takes place. So, if you again go for the solution, you should know the law, that we know it, you must know what the question is. That means the boy jump into the cart, okay, and then they ask you what is the final velocity. So, in that case, first put out the data, the weight of the boy is given, initial velocity is given as 2 meter per second, then weight of the cart is 2 kilogram, and since it was at rest, so u is 0 here. Then they want to calculate the final velocity. Now, here what they say, since the boy jumped into the cart, thus the final velocity that I have just told you, V1 is equal to that of the cart. So, as a result, we can write it that final velocity equals to, both the case equals to V1 equals to V2. Okay. Now, just apply the law that we have just read, law of conservation of momentum, put the value in this respective format, and you will sense the V1 equals to V2. So, what you get the data here, just calculate it algebraically, and as a result you will reach into a zone or a formulation that we have just told you. Since the V1 equals to V2, make sure that when you put the value, be very careful about the sign and the number, and ultimately your V2 comes out to be in this format, and when you cancel this relation, you get the value as 1.92 meter per second. Okay. So, make sure to write down the values in particular. Now, here you can see the signature, the sign is positive. So, as a result, you can find that therefore, velocity of cart after jumping of the boy over is approximately 1.92 meter per second, and since the velocity is positive, so please check out the sign, the velocity is positive, that means the cart will go in the same direction of the boy. Since it is positive, so direction will be in the direction of the boy, in which on in the case the boy jump over the cart. Okay. Now similarly, we have one more numerical here, and this is basically the time when you play the game. Okay, and that is for the let you know that what all physics we use even if you are playing in the playground. They say while playing a match football, the boy called Chris got collided and got entangled with the second boy called Tom. Okay, so that is the condition, and they are playing. As a result, what happened is that they get entangled and playing for opposite team. Of course, underline these two boys are playing for the opposite team and running of course in opposite direction. So that is the condition they should know. So they are running in opposite direction. Then they say the mass of Chris is so much, 40 kilograms, mass of Tom is 60 kilograms. So this is data given. Then the Tom was running with a velocity of 3 meter per second. So underline this data, and the Chris was running with a velocity of 4 meter. One is 3, other is 4. So both this data, and then they ask you that find the velocity and direction of both the players. So they are asking you this question, velocity as well as direction of both the players once the collision takes place. Okay, assuming the force were negligible. Okay, assuming they say in particular other forces, frictional force and all these things are negligible or not being taken into consideration. So make sure two boys are playing, their mass is given, they are moving with different velocities, and they ask you that what happened when the collision takes place and what is the velocity and direction after that. Now after putting all the data, as I have told you, you have the mass here, initial velocity here for boy number 1, then for boy number 2 Tom, we have both the data given, and final velocity direction of both the players after collision is to be calculated. Now they say now final velocity, underline this data because normally you forget about this thing. The final velocity of both the players after collision will be v. Okay, so there is a single unit here, and once you know the laws, then you can see it. Now here you have to see that velocity of Tom will be negative as both are running in opposite direction. The sign convention is very important here. So first case initial velocity for Chris is here, then according to an initial velocity of Tom is taken as negative because he is coming in the opposite direction. Now again use the law that we have just read, that total momentum before collision and total momentum after collision is conserved. Just put the value in that, to make sure the V2 is negative because coming in the opposite direction. Okay, and since they get entangled, got the same velocity here, again go for the algebraic calculation, and once you calculate it, you can see the value comes out to be V is minus 0.2 meter per second. So please make sure when you do the algebraic calculation, please make sure to put the right values and with the right sign. Okay, normally negative and positive sign play a big role here. If you just miss the sign convention, the thing will be totally wrong. So practice it as much as you can. So as you can see that the velocity of both the players would become negative 0.2 meter per second, and negative means what? The negative velocity shows that they would go from right to left because depending upon the scene given in the or condition given in the questionnaire. So again I have told you negative sign won't mean the value is negative. Negative only means that the direction is opposite. Now this is the standard question with a single formulation. Whenever you get a question regarding recoiling of gun, so we can use this particular illustration directly instead of going for the whole formulation. So again they say recoil velocity you have to find it, mass of gun is given so much so, and the bullet mass is so and so, and velocity of bullet is 500. We have just done this numerical, but we have done in the long format. Now this is a short format, you can call it by using the formulation here. So what the formula says, the velocity of gun, okay, that is the recoiling velocity of gun is equals to minus mb, that is mass of the bullet, into velocity of the bullet over mass of the gun, okay. mg means mass of the gun. So, make sure the abbreviation known to you. It says negative mb vb over mg, okay. mb is mass of the bullet, then velocity of the bullet over mass of the gun. And of course, make sure to note that the sign is negative here. So, please, that is very first thing that student must know it, otherwise the whole numerical then go haywire, okay. Then now the simple thing happens, just put the values of all the data given here and put the value in the relation that I have just shown you, and you get the direction or the answer as soon as possible. So, again in this case, make sure that negative sign illustrate that the direction of the gun or the recoiling velocity is in the opposite direction, okay. Now, this is the question that is taken from your textbook standard. Now, you can see how we apply the law of conservation of momentum in so many numericals. I have just picked up some of them, so that the concept become a bit more clear in your mind, okay. Now, check it out. This is from your textbook and concerned quite close to it, okay. They say consider a 42,000 kilogram train, okay. Now, see the weight. Train car traveling at certain speed, okay, 10 meter per second towards another train car, okay. And after the two car collide, because they are traveling in the opposite direction like that, or traveling in particular direction here, they have given, since it is traveling towards the cart, because the second cart is approximately at rest, we can call it, it is given here. So, it is traveling towards that cart, okay. So, make sure the condition given. So, they couple means as they collide, they get together, stick together, and then the net velocity comes to be 6 meter per second. Then they ask you, what is the mass of the second car train? That is a very good question, you see. Please visualize the concept that one train cart is moving, other train cart is standing on this track here, and it move and get collided with it, with the cart, and then they ask you that what is the mass or the weight of the mass of the second cart, okay. So, good question, because that normally you can visualize and try to understand that how physics is used in everyday life line, okay. So, here you can see the whole data in the pictorial form, that the cart is moving with 10, this is the cart, this is the train cart on the track, they collide here, and when they collide, they move in the direction with the velocity of 6 meter per second, and you have to calculate the mass of this cart, okay. So, they want to know the mass of this second train car. Now, again, if you know the system, it is very simple. I have told you this momentum is in a closed system, that is no external force we think is there. So, as I remain, the total momentum of the system remains constant. We have read the law too many times, and then we just go through the whole data, that before collision, what is the condition? Was the sum of the momentum of both the train and the car. So, before collision, total momentum was the sum of the momenta of both the train cars. So, again the first car momentum, just write it down, mass time velocity, the relation you know, mass they have given you, velocity they know, you can calculate it. And for the second tanker, again mass time velocity, mass we have to calculate here, and since it is at rest, you can see the things comes out to be 0 kilogram meter per second, okay, because that cart, second cart was at rest. Now, again use the relation and get the answer, okay. So, basically the formulation comes like that only, the total momentum is this much, total momentum comes out, we have just told you, m times v, and that putting the data into the respective zone, you can calculate it. So, here you can see that two together get total momentum of the system prior to collision is momentum of blue train car to the tanker. We have just calculated the whole mass, first was at rest, that will be 0. The total momentum before collision comes out to be this much, and after collision the two cars together have into one mass, because after collision make sure that the two cars couple, so they act as a one unit. So, together into 1 mass, 1 meter per second, okay. 1 mass. So, the new mass is, calculate the whole stuff, the mass of the blue train car or car train, second is the tanker, calculate the stuff, and the velocity of gain is 6 meter per second, they said it. So, make sure the values should be known to you, and then by knowing the law of conservation of momentum, you put them into the data and calculate the answer. Okay, depending upon how algebraic calculation you have, simple thing is that total momentum before collision equals total momentum after collision. So, once you make them a relation data here, finally you get the answer that happens to be close to or is mass of the tanker, that you get it called approximately 28,000 kilograms. Okay, so that is the approximately mass or mass of the second car. So, make sure that in this whole system the formulation is mass, the total momentum before collision should be equals total momentum after collision. Then make sure that put the values at the right place at the right time, and then go for algebraic calculation. Okay. Now, they say the momentum of the system is conserved, the momentum of individual masses may change, but the net momentum of system does not change. So, that is why we have seen the word or read the word, momentum can neither be created nor be destroyed, it remains in the system, and the gain and loss of the momentum depends upon the respective mass of the body. So, again go through the tutorial very clearly and sincerely. Make sure read the topic from your textbook and then try to do the numericals given in your textbook, and take care, make sure, and have a nice time.